to the next level.
All I'm saying is as far as we can get away from that, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
If we can get as far away from 80s rap as possible.
Man,
if it wasn't 80s rap, it wasn't rap.
How you don't stop the rocket to the bang bang boogie, up jumps the boogie.
Now that's different.
Boogie to beat.
I give you that.
Get that message.
These are the breaks.
Yeah.
No. Me and Eric B was
No. Stay right on that one.
No,
because Muzz want to sit there and talk about how these rappers today, they're not talking about anything. They're just talking about drugs and hip hop. This man did a 6-minute song on breaks, on different kind of breaks that all needed to be calibrated for different vehicles in the world. I'm not trying to hear that, dog. I'm not here for it.
If you don't get the 80s,
I'm just saying, let's get as far away from 80s rap as we can. I'm not saying it's not important.
You said 80s Rakim.
I'm not saying it's not important. Well, Rakim is different.
Come on.
Rakim is 80s. That's different.
Even Big Daddy Kane.
That's different. Okay.
EPMD.
I can mention a few names.
Even the Fat Boys.
Hey, listen. They mention the names just like I mentioned J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, and they're like, well, they're the outliers.
I'll give you that's the outliers.
I'll give you that's the outliers.
My hip bone's connected to my knee bone.
I'm good. Get that out of here. Breeze Nation, what's good, man?
Hard. Let's give me that, but do it.
Yeah, for real. Bills, deals, house in the hills. Everybody knows all fish have gills. Get out of here, bro. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the squad in the building. As we start this mess off. Now, 90s rap, phenomenal. When did NWA start, though?
In the 80s.
Like late 80s?
Late 80s.
Like
88.
Yeah,
whenever NWA started, that's when hip hop started.
It's all
for me.
good.
But I'm just playing. Hey man, we got Mr. Medium Jordan JC in the building.
Up,
the super producer Joel Holt, of course.
Happening?
Mr. Drew Better. If you knew better, you do better. Say who better? Nobody, bro. We got a lot to get into on today's episode outside of the hip hop debate of when Joel was a young boy.
I was a young boy.
We gotta have a conversation on Caleb Williams and can Thomas Brown help him break the rookie passing record this upcoming week versus the Minnesota Vikings. Going to be very interesting to see what they're going to utilize to get him involved. Also, got to talk about the report from David Kaplin that Matt Eberflus, he's confirmed that Matt Eberflus has 2 years left on his deal. And then, of course, we got to preview Bears, Vikings, all that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, y'all good? Everybody good?
You just depressed me with that 2 years.
2 years.
Even though I was preparing, it's like, hopefully they just,
I'd rather have 80s rap.
2 years left. Give me 80s rap all day and night.
Day and night.
That's a phenomenal rap right there.
Don't talk about
Kid Cudi was on it. If you heard that humming on a song, you knew what it was going to be.
Hey, that song was cold.
Yeah, come on now.
Right.
Hey, let's start it off here, though, man. Appreciate y'all, like I said, for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Let's start it off here. Caleb Williams has an opportunity to do something this week that... Are we saying it's impressive? It's impressive, right? It's impressive. It is impressive that he's going to break the record. It's more impressive that he's going to do it this early in the season and still have room to continue to set the record. He's eventually going to break this record.
He will. Yes.
He will break this record this season. We can guarantee that much.
Yes, that is a
but
nice injury.
Yeah, well, dang it, Joe. Sorry. Jesus, Joe. We were really doing well there. But only 176 yards away from breaking that rookie passing record. 2 touchdowns away from breaking or for tying the rookie passing touchdown record and 3 touchdowns away from breaking it. Maybe he gets all of that in this game. The real question is, though, how does Thomas Brown go about executing the offense this week that helps get that done?
That's a good question.
I mean, again, simple, right? You got to keep it simple. Simplify the offense, like you said. Even today, which, by the way, I got tingly. I got real tingly.
We know.
When you hear Thomas Brown up there, like I said, a Mike Tomlin 2.0.
I don't know about that.
Keep him in the building.
I don't know
baby.
about
Make
that
him
Sound
HC.
like Macho Man Light right there. Like, I don't know about Macho Man.
I'm telling you, that's the cream of the crop. It's gonna rise to HC. But no, I think that if you keep it simple, if you go back to the basics, what he said is, make sure that you're giving attention to detail on the practices throughout the week. Everybody, is playing hard. They're making sure that they're giving detail to their assignments. Caleb is playing more comfortable. They're getting the plays in faster in the headset. Like, all of those things are contributing to making Caleb feel and play better. And so that's what we want to see. I want to continue to see that. You love the confidence and the leadership that Thomas Brown exudes on this team. I feel like that's what's going to kind of be imitated in the locker room. The players are kind of an image of their leaders, their coaches. And so that's what you love to see. I think that, yes, obviously he will break this record. Not a huge record, but, it's good to see that the Bears are making progress.
Well, just to get modern, the whole point is that we're becoming a modern NFL. And, I've been saying this the whole time, that I think that Poles sacrificed, this year to get this quarterback. He got his receiver and his quarterback. Now he can focus on linemen, in the draft moving forward. So, clearly some setbacks with that. But clearly there was an issue with the offensive coordinator who was not able to maximize that. See, that's what sucks.
Yeah.
What Shane Waldron was not – how did he hurt Caleb?
Yeah.
There's probably games where he could have been even better or at least more competent. Because, actually, I got to pull up this other graphic. When you look at some of those games where it's like he had 120 – what if he was actually prepared for week one? Week one looks so bad. And then even week two, he finally started to get a rhythm in week 3 and week 4. We lost against the Colts and all that type of stuff. But he was throwing for 300-some yards and what have you. That's the disappointing part, is that what could have actually been better for him in his rookie year starting off. So I'm hoping that, against Minnesota, look, they're going to come after him probably with the aggressive blitz packages and stuff like that. Hopefully they've learned that, because he's been getting blitzed the whole time.
Yeah.
No,
listen, I think the one thing that I do expect him to break at least the rookie passing record this weekend. I don't know if he's going to break the touchdown record.
2 more.
Two more. He may tie it. But I don't know if he's going to break the passing touchdown record.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you look at this game, to me, there is an opportunity to continue to build on what you did last week. There's an opportunity to continue to grow with some of the concepts that you did. And Caleb Williams said, they didn't simplify the offense for me. They didn't unchain me and all of a sudden miraculously tell me to run. But they did do things that made it easier for me to get the ball out quicker. And I think it also comes down to Caleb Williams making decisions quicker. Hey, pre-snap, this is the guy I want to go to, set up, boom, 1-2, I'm getting rid of the football. He got rid of the football at one of the quickest rates this week. I thought that it was very telling, and it really went back to that Jacksonville game when they were sending a blitz. We saw that the Patriots continued to send a blitz, and he struggled against that one. But for most of the season, you saw a young man who has handled the blitz really well. And I think that this is a game, we keep talking about it this is the defense that's going to really get after Caleb. This is the one that's scary. This is the one that's concerning. This may be the one where Caleb Williams kind of shows, no, I belong in this league. You heard him say it this week, right? He felt like after the 3rd week of the season, he belonged in this league, that he knew he could play in this league. This may be the week where you look at Caleb Williams and go, this young man has an ability to assess what he's seeing, go out there. I think the adjustment of Thomas Brown to Shane Waldron, we talked about that a little bit. Was it yesterday, I think, on the show, where where basically just getting the play in quicker really allows him to kind of calm his nerves before he goes out there, makes the play, be able to assess what he's seeing. Those are things that going into this week, I do have more of a confidence that this offense is going to continue to take a step in the right direction. Also, injury-wise, DeAndre Swift was limited today. Hopefully that doesn't aggravate that groin. Yeah. But having him on the field today will be and on the field on Sunday, I think makes things easier for you. I think the thing I'm more concerned, not really is the blitz, but more of some of the cover zero that turns into cover 3, the cover 0 that turns into cover 2 real quick, where you've got a safety 2 feet away from him, and all of a sudden he drops back in coverage, and now he's out there making plays, adding something in that Caleb didn't see pre-snap. Those are the things that you want to see adjust. But I really do feel like coming into this game, you saw Caleb Williams versus the Packers, who he was 8 for 10 against the blitz. He was very efficient. He was getting the ball out quick. He was making his decisions right on time. I think that he does break this rookie passing record, and I think Thomas Brown continues to make things easier for him, that are just simple passes that are going to make his life easier.
Yeah. I think it'll be more impressive that he breaks his record just because of the team you're going up against on defense. We talked about it earlier, but just to kind of bring it back up again, you're talking about a defense that is extremely good at run. They're first in the league in giving up barely any rushing yards. I think 74, a little bit over 74 rushing yards. That is tops in the league. And with everything that Brian Flores kind of throws at you, the different unique blitzes and things that he gives you, Caleb has to really be on his game as far as what he's seeing out there, how I can change pre-snap and after snap. Like, that's what we're looking at. I want to see the evolution and continued development and growth of Caleb against a top defense. You saw it against Green Bay. Green Bay is a good defense. You give them kudos for being a good defense, but this, I think, would be, shall we say, the best defense that they're playing up against to this point.
One of the top ones we got to look
at. Because first in run defense, and I believe they're 28th in pass. Like you can take advantage of in pass, but they still got some good players in the DB department. Like I believe they still got Harrison Smith.
Well,
right?
That's the overcompensation.
Right.
Well, they lead the NFL in interception too, though.
That is.
They lead the NFL. They got 15 interceptions on the season. They've done a good job.
Yeah, you throw it, you might be bound to get a turnover.
That's the gamble.
That is the gamble.
But you know what else is the gamble? That we got 100 in the chance.
Over 100 in the chance. I know.
Actually, who was number one in the chat was who was that? Someone was like, I'm up in this beat. My man Daryl. Let's go. Yeah, SWAT. Crimson was number one.
Crimson was number one in this month. Shout out Crimson, always rocking with us, man. Kid in the building, man. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man.
Somebody said you look like Dark Mind 079 said Pat Low-Key looks like MC Search.
Is that an 80s? See, I don't
know. 80s?
You don't know who MC Search is?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know MC Search.
I think that's more concerning than anything I said.
I don't know.
He signed Nas and owned Nas's publishing forever.
I had no idea. My bad.
Searchlight Publishing.
That's on me.
I think I look more like the brother with the good hair from the bank.
What'd you say?
Run the credits.
What was it? The good-looking brother from the bank? What was it?
The good-looking brother from the bank.
I got another. So I pulled up just as a reference. I was able to come up with another graphic for us for Caleb, just a little, as the week by week progress or just his stats for the week. So for the first 11 weeks, and just seeing we're hoping that we can get more. Like the Packers game with Brown showed, okay, he got back on track because at 74%, I think that was his highest. That is his highest percentage completion. He was 73.9 against the Rams, and I think he was 73.9 against the Jaguars. But against the Packers, 74% with a 95 QBR rating, QB rating and a QBR of 83.3. So it's hopefully we're able to get Caleb on track to a point. And I guess it is any given Sunday, right? They have a chance to win a game. Now, I'm not picking them to win per se.
Yeah.
Just because they got to earn it. I mean, the sad thing is even the national media is talking about Caleb where, he did the things that led you to a certain point, and then the team shot themselves in the foot. Mm-hmm. He led you down the field against Washington, and then they gave up the Hail Mary. He did lead you down the field where you wanted to kick the field goal too early, and they got blocked. He's done things and led you down drives where they go down to the end zone and they give the ball to the offensive lineman who fumbles the ball it's not his fault. Mm-hmm. So he has definitely shown things where you can trust in him more so than not trusting in him when the game is on the line. Because he has, by the way, it's 0 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. He's not really throwing the ball away a lot.
Yeah, and I don't subscribe to the line of thinking that some people do. Where I've seen this go around the Bears content creator space and the media space a couple of times. I'd rather him throw interceptions because at least I know he's trying to move the ball down the field. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Then we're sitting here talking about a quarterback that's got 9 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and we're having a conversation on, well, he's not assessing the field the right way. Or he's not it's going to be ups and downs, just like how the touchdowns came when he got the 9, right? We got 4-5 of them, basically in a bunch, and you've struggled over the last few weeks. I think it's a clear conversation that Shane Waldron has led to some of those struggles over the last 3 weeks. Yes, he didn't get a touchdown last week that he threw, but realistically speaking, he put you in position to get 2 touchdowns, and you got 2 touchdowns out of it. He also put you in position to win the game. That's what I want to see my quarterback doing. That's what I want to see my rookie quarterback doing. I don't care if he has 38 touchdowns on the season. That would be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be great to sit there and have the conversation about how many touchdowns he's scoring just on the merit of his arm. But realistically speaking, I'm more impressed by the fact that I've watched him put together 3 game-winning drives.
Yeah.
I'm more impressed by the fact that I've watched him put you in position to win 3 games.
Big time.
I'm more impressed by the fact that this young man can go out there on a consistent basis and say, okay, there's something crazy going on the defense. Nope, we gotta kill this. We gotta go to a different play, and we gotta audible out of this. I'm impressed by the things that he's doing that a quarterback does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Like, those are the things that I want to see Caleb Williams doing. Guess what? After a while, when dum-dums get out of the way, that's when touchdowns come.
Dum-dum did it.
You know what I mean? Like, you got rid of old Shakes McGee out there. You know what I mean? He's trying to do the T formation out there. And you know what I mean? Like, now all of a sudden you see Caleb Williams starting to move in the right direction. Like, to me, I think that is the most important thing. And if he gets the rookie passing record this week, which I do think that he will, if he gets the rookie passing touchdown record this week, which he has a possibility to do at a minimum, he has a possibility to tie it. I think that those are 2 marks that he's going to be by the end of the season well past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you're talking about Caleb Williams being the guy setting the records for your team. Now you're talking about Caleb Williams being the guy setting the standards for your team. Oh, by the way, hopefully he's not letting somebody else in here in 3 years that's going to try and break those records yet again. You know what I mean? Like, there's still a lot to grow from this season. There's 7 games left in the year. I think there's a lot that you can take from this season still. And realistically speaking, I like the growth that we've seen out of this young quarterback. It's not going to be linear.
Yeah. And the biggest thing that I love, even looking back at the graphs that are behind us right now, I love the ebbs and flows of the season. You know, we talk about how weak the schedule was in the beginning of the season, and thinking that, Caleb is just going to just skyrocket, you know, and this is the time for him to.
Well, it was set up for him, too.
It was very set up for him. Yeah, it was set up for him, too.
He could have done
really, really good. But you got people in the way. Like you said, you had idiots that were in the way, calling calls, not getting it in quick enough. Like, there was a lot of there's a lot. What's going on back there, Drew? There's a lot of just discontent right now. And so what I like to see is the ebbs and flows. Again, as we get more into the division, as we get more into the season, and we're going up against more challenging teams, I want to see, you know, the stock rise in a sense. I want to see those ratings go up, and then that's where you'll know, okay, he's finally getting it.
Now, you know what's funny? I said this. My expectation of Caleb was that I thought he would come out the gate kind of hot because there's no tape on him. Yeah. And then the coordinators will figure it out. I'm sort of like, we got the 2 games, right? The Colts and the Panthers and the Jags to a degree. And now we hit this lull, right? We had really bad month. I mean, 131.
Oh yeah, it was terrible month.
120. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah, horrible.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
So is this now, like, it takes about 12, you know, towards the end of the season before for a rookie quarterback to really take on. Mm-hmm. And what's encouraging is even the national media is saying how, like, he's learning and grasping the entire offense. Yeah. Like, they're dummying it down for Jaden Daniels, that, like, he's not calling as much as that stuff. Like,
I don't know if they're dummying it down.
That's what they're saying.
I
think
simplifying. That's just Cliff Kingsbury's offense.
I'm just saying.
That was the biggest beef that everybody had with him coaching Kyler Murray. It was like, well, it's one read, and if the one read ain't there, Kyler can't figure it out. But now all of a sudden, Kyler looks like a good quarterback.
But what I'm saying is that's what.
Today?
No, that snow was coming down, and I had to watch but that snow was coming down a little bit too much.
No, just real quick, I know that Caleb even talked about, like, the 12-word. Like,
oh yeah, he's running 14-word plays.
Yeah, like, trying to process that.
He is. So what's crazy is that technically he set up, barring injury, he set up for success. That even by next year, like, he's learning this.
Yeah.
So he's going to know this going into the next year and master it. Now, hopefully he's getting a good grasp on it at the end of the season. So it may not matter as much if the defense is actually able to hold. You know, he can actually start winning games. He's not winning his games. He's just managing the game for us. He's kind of putting us in position versus, like, he got his, you know, he went off for 2-3 touchdowns. We got what, that? 0 touchdowns. Zero touchdowns.
Well, it's been
0 touchdowns.
0 touchdowns for a month.
Yeah,
5 straight games.
Actually, I'm missing.
I was about to say, you got 0 on everything.
You know what happened? I was deep.
But it's cool. But we know it's been 0 for the last month. Yeah, that's for sure.
Updated. God dang it.
But you know, that's one of the
Had
things.
all that time. He was bragging about how much time he had
I was
today.
prepared.
I love the graph, though. I ain't gonna lie. The graph is still cold.
It's a cute. It's not a good graph if there's the wrong information.
No, it's just missing information.
That guy over there.
Oh God.
No, but
you can't
I
trust these
love
guys.
the fact that Caleb is at the point where we're talking about who are the quarterbacks as far as rookies.
Yeah.
We agreed that we got Drake May and Jaden and Bo actually in front of him right now.
Yes.
But this is the reason why I'm not afraid, because long term wise, I feel like Caleb is going to be a better processor of the game.
Yeah.
He's going to be more efficient. Like, he has the tools to succeed long term. That's why I'm not worried about who got out the gate hot, who got out the gate fast. You know, the shiny new toy. Okay, talk about Jaden all you want. Rookie of the year, probably will win it. Okay, that's fine. Talk about
Bo got
all
a
you
case.
want. Bo got a case. Drake got a case too. Drake is killing
Nah,
with
Drake
nobody
don't got
around
a
him.
case. Drake ain't winning though.
Okay,
Drake
fair
ain't
enough.
winning, though.
Fair
That's
enough.
different.
He's not getting
winning.
the games.
That's
Winning
the thing,
matters.
because even Caleb would have a shot. But
If we won.
if the winning,
Yeah.
But if they finish if they get 8 wins,
8-9.
he might get that. If
Lord
he's
have mercy.
winning games,
Well, I say this, and that's an interesting place to take it too. Caleb, I think if you continue this trajectory with touchdowns, you got to be scoring touchdowns, right? But if you continue this trajectory versus the tough competition,
yep.
the conversation is going to be,
exactly.
hey, you figured it out. Like, realistically, his first game versus one of the tough teams. Actually, every game versus tough teams, I guess, except the Texans. But just about every game versus the tough teams, Caleb performed pretty well. Versus the Rams, he performed well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call the Jaguars a tough team.
But it showed,
even though in Europe they say they
Their defense was good.
I got to take that back, actually. I got to take
Jags
that back.
defense
He
was
was
good.
terrible against Washington. He did put you in a position to win that game, though, at the end.
Right.
But realistically speaking, you know, like you're getting to the teeth of your schedule.
Yep.
If you're getting to the teeth of your schedule, and that's where he starts putting up 237, 74% quarterback rating of 95, QBR of 83.3, that's where you're like, oh, okay, well, he figured it out, and he's playing tougher competition than anybody else is playing right now. That'll factor in, I think, a little bit. I don't know if it helps him win the record. You've gone basically a half a season without being that guy. Yeah. But narratives do change by the end of the year, so that could come into play by the end of the season. That'd be interesting to see. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below, man. Do you think that Caleb Williams breaks the rookie record this weekend? What can Thomas Brown do to make that possible? We're going to keep this thing moving along, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Don't hit me with that Flus energy up in here, man. I need y'all to hit me with that Thomas Brown confidence.
That's right, Tomlin 2.0.
Which listen, hey, we low key got it. Tomlin 2.0 is crazy, bro.
I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna speak it into existence.
Speaking his existence.
We gonna get him as our head coach. Him is gonna be terrible. He's gonna be like, I said he was Tomlin. He's like, no. He was Tomlinson. He was Tomlinson, not Tomlin.
The issue is that he may be a really good coordinator. And sometimes they promote when you promote the worker bee, doesn't mean
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I still believe this. As bad as it is, I still believe Matt Eberflus is a really freaking good defensive coordinator.
I thought you was about to say
no, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's a bad head coach.
That's what I'm saying.
DC is
like, if we being real, the pieces that he has lost, our defense should be in shambles.
Yeah,
we held the Packers, who have been putting up points, to 20 points.
Yeah.
And realistically speaking, if Jalen Johnson don't trip over his shoes,
it might have been
less.
A win.
I don't know. It might
have been less than a win.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? So I still give Flus his credit as a DC, as head coach. Get him out of here. But he may not be going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because David Kaplin on ESPN today, this picture of Flus kills me every time. David Kaplin on ESPN today was talking about the Chicago Bears and how he is confirming, per his sources, that Matt Eberflus got a 5-year deal. That would mean that there are 2 years left on Matt Eberflus's contract. Again, these are per David Kaplan's sources. I don't know if this is factual or not, but Cap has a pretty big platform. He knows people. He's got his sources. And so he's putting it out there. Brad Biggs also put this assessment out there as well, that he has a 2-year deal. Adam Rank also put this out there as well, that he has 2 years left on his deal. Adam Rank, again, remember, he put it out there with the caveat that Flus, no matter what happens at the end of the season, is going nowhere. Immunity. He's got immunity out here. But there's a couple places that I want to take this conversation. First off, let's start it off here. With 2 years left, at the end of this season, with everything that has happened, do we think that the Chicago Bears still move on from Flus, knowing that $6 million a year, that would be $12 million they would have to pay him over the next 2 years in totality, and you would have to pay another head coach. And if we're getting in the head coach that we hope we get, you're probably talking about paying 10 to 12 million, possibly upwards of 15 million for that guy, which means you're probably not getting that guy knowing the Bears. $30 million, realistically speaking, in head coaches for the Bears over the next 2 years. Do we think that let's speak McCaskey, boys? Do we think that, don't speak Jordan, speak McCaskey. Also, don't you break my mic.
I'm ready to crush it right now. I'm ready to crush it.
Do we think that the Chicago Bears, watch yourself, Crusher, are going to move off of Matt Eberflus if he does have that 2-year deal?
For all the love of everything blue and orange, I certainly hope so.
That's not an answer.
I tried. No,
they might do it.
They might do it.
Because you get what you pay for. You pay for a cheap coach. The good coaches are commanding, like you said, 10 to 12 million. You're paying him 6. So if you're able to break it down to 6 million,
but you'd be paying basically $20 million in coaches a year.
No, for 2 years, that's it.
No, or you would be paying $20 million for your current coach and Matt Eberflus.
But if I'm correct, that money doesn't come out of the salary cap. That comes out of just regular expenses.
Yeah, it come out of their pockets.
It come out of their pockets.
So, do we believe that the McCaskies will move on?
No, really,
Matt Eberflus realistic.
Okay, let's just be honest.
They're a multi-billion-dollar organization. That is a drop in the bucket.
That's great.
Yeah,
it sounds good, Joe.
Hey, Jerry Reinsdorf also is a multi-billion-dollar whatever organization.
He said whatever.
Man's cheap. They're a cheap ran organization.
But they've done it before.
Yeah, but they're very loyal to a fault to their people.
No, what they did before was they fired a coach that they weren't paying that much to bring in another coach that they weren't paying that much. They
fired Lovey. They still paid him.
And they brought in Mark Trestman that was making $3 million.
Yeah, another cheap coach.
So so in totality, you were paying like $8 million in coaches.
Oh, you paid them DeAndre Swift money.
Look,
you were paying them Swifty money.
I would love for them to just actually do the right thing and actually just not be involved. Let Kevin Warren make that decision. It doesn't matter what the McCaskey say now because you hired a president of operations.
It still matters because it's about their money coming out.
But he has to answer to that versus asking for permission. Technically,
well, if I'm the president, get out of the way of football.
If I'm the president,
listen. Whoever's got the money, you got to go talk to them. You can say, if I'm the president, it's my decision or the highway. Yeah. But unless Kevin Warren plan on leaving the Chicago Bears, it's still the McCaskey's decision. Shout out Dan Tanner with the super chat. He said, I'm fluent in McCaskey. Cheap. Yep. Cheap. Lord, we might be stuck. Pat's right. That sounds like a Bears move.
It is Bearsy. But they also, we have a new president. Like, it's different, sort of.
If we had a new president,
is it a different paycheck? Is it a different checkbook?
No, what I'm getting at is
Virginia still got to crack open the deep purse that's like 8 miles deep. You can pull a lamp out of it to find the checkbook.
The pearls.
This was given to me by the Sultan of SWAT back in the day.
I still think that all offensive coordinators have to go to her office, and she opens up the offensive coordinator.
The tome.
This is your playbook.
Yeah,
you must. This is what Papa ran.
What makes you like you said.
This is how Daddy ran.
This is what we will run.
We will run this.
Yeah, I agree.
This is what made us great.
Nothing else.
Paul Galore said, "Scared money don't make no money. Bears never hire the best choice money can buy."
Shout out PG.
But they did everything backwards. Kevin Warren came after. Like, so this is going to be his offseason and him making that decision. He is replacing the bean counter that Ted Phillips. He's replacing him. Now, how much power? President of operations versus what was Ted Phillips? What was his role?
President of operations.
He was president.
President, right?
Okay, so it's another.
He wasn't operations. I think he was just president.
No, he was
Period.
Kevin
Team
Warren.
president.
He was a team president. I mean,
What did they make? So Kevin Warren.
Kevin Warren's
is
the team president.
He's
Yes,
got
they're the same
title.
dude.
All right. So the point is that I don't know yet if this is on that decision to make. Now, if he has to answer and go to them and say, "Look, we have to do this. This is where it makes. This is where all it matters." If my franchise is being affected, you're losing the fan base. You're like everybody's crying for this stuff. Like the thing is, you got a quarterback that we got to protect, and you keep making these blunders. Like, look at this face. This is year 3. This is year 3. That's not a year 1.
That's a face says
that's
I have
year
no
3.
answers.
Yeah.
I have no answers.
Yeah.
And okay, let's just simplify this again. Let's just kind of simplify this conversation. Honestly, yes, we think that the Bears do need to fire him.
Everybody thinks the Bears need to fire him.
But at the end of the day, McCaskey's, you know what they should be saying? This is a results-based business. What have the results shown you about this coach? What is his resume?
1 in 68
Thank you.
million.
If I come to a job and I absolutely suck for 3 years, heck, if I absolutely suck during the 90-day period, am I still there? Absolutely not. If I'm not doing my job, I'm fired. Why is this guy still around? Why is the guy still around? It's a results-based business. You don't have the confidence from the team. You shouldn't have the confidence and backing of the organization or the McCaskeys.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many years are left on your team. Heck, okay, if you don't want to go out and get anybody else and spend a lot of money, like I said, make Brown the interim coach and then move forward.
This is the thing, man. I've learned this in my entire life as a professional in IT. You get what you pay for. You're going to end up paying twice as much. You go cheap. You get the cheap systems or the cheap computer, whatever. You put it in there. It kind of works. Either it works for a hot second and flames out, or it just never performs like you want it to. Then you got to go and then pay over again. And now you got to either buy out that whatever that contract it was or get rid of that equipment to buy new stuff. It's the same principle.
Yeah, you just reminded me. I got to replace my laptop on Black Friday.
I'm just saying, but it's the same principle. You
Sucks.
get what you pay for. Was it cheap? Good, no cheap. Cheap, no good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what you did. You hired a $6 million coach. That's under the market value for a premier coach.
No, I agree with you. Listen, I understand what it could be. When I hear that, when I hear 2 years left on the deal, I said this to y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all, let Thomas Brown win or get you close. He's back. 2 years left. $12 million left on his deal, if that is the case.
That's nothing, though.
It's nothing to
them.
Bro, but you got to understand, they're not going to spend it.
I understand that, but I'm just saying that
whether it is nothing or not, they're not going to spend it. They're going to say, I'm not paying $18 million for a coach. We wouldn't pay $15 million.
Right, that's their principle.
Yeah, but we wouldn't pay $15 million for a head coach. Jim Harbaugh. Joel, might I join you in your cry, sir?
These guys over here.
They even call him.
Didn't even call him.
They even pick up the phone.
That's
Rolling
personal
with Matt.
beef, yeah.
And this joke is 7-3 out there in San Diego.
Hey, bro,
Living
listen.
a life, living a dream.
Got alt and everything.
And listen, winners win.
Winners win.
When you
Losers
look
find a
at
way to
that
lose.
team, you literally go,
Yep.
oh, they suck.
Shout out to Brady.
But then you watch it and you're like, wait a minute, maybe they kind of don't suck? Wait a minute, is the defense playing both halves of the game?
But look, now, devil's advocate.
Is Lad McConkey balling out there?
Hey, I like
Shout
your
out to
little Lad
McConkey.
Devil's advocate. I don't even want to say devil's advocate. He might
McCaskey's advocate.
No, they might stumble into this work. Let's just say it's a miracle that they actually win against the Vikings and they actually go on a tear that we don't expect them to do.
Well, let's not go that far.
I'm just saying, they're still a top. What are they? A top 12 defense? The Bears have the
Bears
top.
they're the 11th ranked defense. In the NFL right now.
They're just outside of the top 10 defense.
Yeah.
If the rookie actually takes
no, the Bears
on,
are the 7th ranked defense in the NFL right now.
That's what I'm saying.
According to fifth.
So, who's to say that we might keep him by accident and then he ends up screwing his stuff up for us because next year, no, it's like we get into the playoffs and he bungles it because it's like by default. And it's like, well, we won 10 games.
Oh, boy.
Like that's what's gonna suck.
But the problem is, right? You've watched him time and time again make the wrong decision in that clutch moment. Mm-hmm. That's where the playoffs come in. That's where you got to have that conversation on. And to me, it's a wild scenario. I just don't see it being a scenario that Flus ends up leaving. I think what makes it even more wild is what we heard today from the press conference with Thomas Brown, because to me, you've got coordinators speaking a different language.
Yep.
You've got coordinators speaking a different language than your head coach. Your head coach continues to double down on the fact that it didn't matter if we ran another play. And I agree that it didn't matter, because I think you would have lost no matter what. I think if you'd have run another play, you'd have fumbled. I think if you'd have run another play, you'd have gotten position and the field goal still would have been blocked. This dude is a generational loser when it comes to coaching on the football field. 1 in 68 million chance that he would lose all 7 of those games. I will continue to say that stat forever. I didn't even think, I'm not going to lie to you, I literally was like, he's not the worst head coach we've ever had. He might be.
Oh, yes.
Like when you talk about these losses, he might be. So to me, I agree with you. It wouldn't have mattered. You probably still would have found a way to lose anyway. But no matter what, you had a head coach who stands by the fact that being conservative was the right decision.
Yeah.
And today you hear Thomas Brown come out and say, we will not coach scared.
Oh, I didn't even hear.
We will not play scared. We will not run this offense in fear. We are going to be aggressive. We are going to go after it. We are going to attack. Like, those are the things that I don't hear Matt Eberflus preaching and teaching. Even with his defense. His defense is rush 4.
Can the church say amen? Shout out to Big Money Paul G.
PG.
Paul G.
Just say PG.
This is all
I keep
on
saying
Paul.
His name, Glory.
Glory. Okay, Paul Glory. This is all
leave
on
the African American man and his pronunciation alone. He struggles over there.
this is all on Poles. He doubled down on Flus and didn't let him hire his own staff. Shaking my head. And Poles on a signed a bunch of bums on the O-line.
Yeah, some bad guys on the O-line for sure. But no, I just think that you have a team that is preaching 2 different messages, and how well is that going to work, realistically speaking? Now, if you want to do something drastic, right, where you go in the next season and you make Thomas Brown this is all if you keep Flus and
don't get me tingly.
If you keep Flus and things
make him
are working, you make him the assistant head coach, very similar to what he was with the Rams. Mm-hmm. But we know who the head coach is there, right?
That's fine with me.
I think that would be a different because I think it would be a different situation here. Thomas Brown is the assistant head coach to Sean McVay. Who's the head coach?
Sean McVay.
Thomas Brown is the assistant head coach to Matt Eberflus. Who's the head coach?
Thomas Brown.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's make it clear. Thomas Brown's the OC to Matt Eberflus head coach. Who's the head coach? Thomas Brown. In my mind, he's already took over head coach to me.
You know he's going to say? He's going to say, "Whoo, okay, I don't have to make those calls anymore. I'm gonna go to the defensive room. You do you. You're good. You're good."
He already exudes head coach to me.
Yeah.
God,
listen, I agree with you. He has the traits. He has the personality.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can do the job. I would rather see him go out and finish out the season as an OC. We can cross the head coaching bridge when we get there. I don't know if I'm because here's the thing. Thomas Brown and Mike Vrabel.
Shout out to Swipe. Like, F that, Joe. With all due respect, Flus got to go.
No, and that's but I'm saying, when you look at it, we can sit here and be excited about Thomas Brown. Yeah. Maybe he gets Caleb moving in the right direction, all those things. Thomas Brown and Mike Vrabel.
Thomas Brown.
Give me Mike Vrabel.
No.
Give me Mike Vrabel.
I want all I'm saying is I want consistency on my offense. I just want
him keep him.
No, as long as we can keep. No. If we can keep Brown, he's good. He's not trying to go somewhere. Then fine. I just want my offense to stay the same. I want the continuity because I don't want him to have to learn another system. Yeah. So if you're able to hire Vrabel as a head coach and keep Brown, great.
Vrabel's defensive minded.
Hey, listen. Let's go down this path though.
Okay. Let's go on a journey.
Thomas Brown develops Caleb Williams the rest of the season.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What is Thomas Brown getting next year?
Head coaching job.
Absolutely.
He's out of the case.
So you're not keeping him.
So he has to become the head coach.
Unless you make him head coach here.
Unless you make him head coach here.
Or you make him assistant head coach.
And so for me, give me the guy that I know can lead the room. Mike Vrabel was literally a good quarterback away from going to the Super Bowl.
Man, shout out to Paul again. Big money. He said if Thomas Brown makes Caleb look good, then they got to make him a head coach because another team will hire him.
100%.
Absolutely.
We all agree with you.
And I keep talent in the building.
But I just think, listen, don't fall into the same trap. We all agree Matt Eberflus is a great defensive coordinator.
But what system
we
is
all
Vrabel
agree.
gonna run though?
We all agree that he's not a good head coach.
Now based off,
You know what I mean? Like those are the things where it's like I'm enamored in you in this way, but now you have the responsibility for everything, and it's too much. Matt Eberflus was at his best last season when literally there was somebody else to take everything defensively off his plate, and all he had to do was go out there and call plays.
The only question I have is to fight back on that just a little bit is when Eberflus was a DC in Indianapolis, did he talk as if he was a leader of men? Or did he talk the exact same way he's talking
he's
now?
probably the same person.
He talks,
You can just
he talks like he did
test.
now.
The eye test shows me.
Yeah, but see, here's the
Thomas
thing.
Brown is not over his
head. We
head.
always say talk like a leader. Lovie Smith was terrible in press conferences. He's a great leader of men.
Sure.
Lovie Smith was a go watch
Team
Lovie.
loved him.
Go watch old Lovie press conference.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bill Belichick doesn't do
Rex
nothing
is
with
our
a press
quarterback.
conference. I get that.
well, Bill
He's our
Belichick just
quarterback.
don't talk. I'm talking about Lovie Smith talked like Flus. Less wordy.
No, he
less
was more
wordy.
composed.
But no, but sure, he's more composed. Like he didn't.
No,
he
he-
was
he-
sitting there
no.
calm, but he didn't say
No.
anything that made you have confidence in like
Lovie
we
had-
gonna go out there and win this game.
No,
He used a
Lovie-
lot of crazy words.
Lovie
No,
was
he
more
didn't.
reserved and exuded confidence. He does not exude confidence to me.
Go watch them press conferences.
I watched
Lovie
them.
did.
That was
Lovie
my
did.
20s.
Lovie
watching
did
them.
not exude no
Rex
kind of
Grossman
confidence.
is our quarterback.
Yeah.
That he was stoic.
Hey, and when he said that, everybody in the world was on the radio like that was the least confident cosign I've ever seen.
He was
and
tired.
a coach to a quarterback of all time. Like, nah, I'm not like. But that's okay. Guess what? He's a great leader of men.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. So everybody that talks about the press conferences, I don't care about the press conferences. What can you do on the football field? I know plenty of dudes that can win a press conference that are trash coaches.
I like.
You know what I mean? Like.
I like
Our
Dennis-
special teams is kind of cheeks.
Yeah.
Richard Hightower wins every press conference.
I mean, I get that.
That's a great question, Jordan.
But all the way around, you just want the persona. I like Dennis Moody's comment. He said everybody wants Ben Johnson. He may be a good OC, but he has Dan Campbell's psycho. Leading the men. Can Ben lead? And that's a really good question because we can say that we want Ben Johnson to that point, but just to second that.
Fam, listen.
It's happened over the 30, 40, 50 years, if not of NFL.
Nagy.
Wani
won a suit. Wani's a great offensive coordinator.
He's a DC.
I mean, defensive coordinator.
He's a DC.
Wani won a Super Bowl.
Norv Turner. Norv Turner and Wanstead were the coordinators for those Dallas squads. They ain't won nothing. But Jimmy Johnson was a leader of men for a while, to the point he goes down to Miami. He couldn't get the quarterback they wanted. If they don't get Drew Brees.
Take your shots, man.
They go for Dante Culpepper.
We took it back.
We're just talking about leader of men, though.
Yeah.
We're talking about guys that make an impact, right? Is it the Nick Sabans of the world, versus the coordinators that all of the New England Patriots.
Saban call it.
Yeah, but he was. My point is, as a leader of men. Then you look at the Bill Belichick tree, and none of them, for the most part, Romeo Crennel.
Ain't Vrabel from his tree?
Later on, but he hasn't won a championship. But
ain't Campbell from his tree?
No, Dan Campbell. He was
Dan Campbell.
No, I think he was like a Dallas Cowboy tight end or something like that.
I know what he was, but I'm saying, didn't he coach with Belichick in one? No, he was in Miami.
I don't know. He might have been. My point is that just because you come from that tree, now the only one that has the most success of any tree,
Andy Reid's tree is
Bill
phenomenal.
Walsh.
Bill Walsh's tree is great. Andy Reid's tree is great.
No, but they all come from Walsh.
Except for Nagy.
Yeah, Nagy's been.
Nagy's terrible.
He's terrible.
He looks good as an OC out in.
It's real easy
Mahomes.
when you got Daddy standing next to you. He's like, "I'm gonna call this play." No, you're not.
He just went back to what was comfortable.
And also, Mahomes is having one of his worst years, anyways.
That's not
Hey,
Nagy.
hey,
though.
hey,
That's not
hey,
Nagy.
They just compared him to Brock Purdy's numbers. He's on the same
Hey,
par.
look, Mahomes was
9-1.
having one of his worst years all till D-Hop showed up.
Yeah, now
DeAndre Hopkins got there and he was like, "Huh."
Need that time.
He caught it.
Yep.
There it is. One other thing I do want to add to this, though, and before we get into the final topic where we're going to break down this Bears versus Vikings game, I thought it was very interesting. Courtney brought this up yesterday, and she is in kind of on Thomas Brown being one of those candidates, like you mentioned, for the head coaching job if something were to happen. But I talked about with her today on the pod, the difference in the body language. She mentioned Flus's body language yesterday at the podium. And yesterday was the first time, and she talked about this on Carmen and Yurko and on the podcast today. Yesterday was the first time, and I felt it, where Flus felt like somebody who might lose their job. After the Washington game, Flus came in confident. You know, we got to be better. That's crazy. After the Washington game, it was we got to be better. We got to make a better move there. We're not talking about Tyree Stevenson. We'll figure it out. We're on to the next week. All we can do is turn the page. He came out confident. After the Cardinals game, hey, that was terrible. Bad call by me at the end of that. That's on me. We got to be better. I got to be better. Boom. By the time we got to the Green Bay game, I didn't even ask Flus a question yesterday because after we got 3 questions in, I was like, he's not saying anything. Like, normally he don't say nothing, but literally he was like not really talking.
Just talking in circles.
He was just kind of like, yeah, you know, what you got to do what you got to do, and you know, you got to win, and that's what we're gonna do.
Here's the score.
Yeah, I told him here's the score, and I let him know that you know we have each other. Look at the man next to you, and watch out for Crusher. Watch out for Razor. And yeah, we're gonna go out here and play the game.
We're gonna go out here and lose.
Plus, got kind of a Barack Obama cadence to him a little bit. Now that I think about it,
He
Obama cadence to him.
I
Gotta start working on my Obama again. I think I've got drum down. It's not a phenomenal drum.
That's a beautiful one.
But it's a great drum. It's a beautiful drum.
No, I'm with you on that. One of the things that impressed me too when we're comparing that is just the whole confidence thing. Going back to Thomas Brown's presser, one thing that he even gave compliments to about Brian Flores is that he doesn't know him personally, but the few times that I think he said he ran into him or talked to him, he said, you know, he exudes that leadership quality. He kind of commands the room. He is that type of person where his players reflect his attitude.
Yeah.
And
attitude reflect leadership.
Thank you.
Captain.
Hey, another Remember the Titans.
We talk about that movie a lot.
Remember the Titans is an epic.
I'm gonna promise y'all this. We're gonna do this for the Patreon, and Joe's gonna come too because he's useless.
Jesus.
No, because anytime I try to do something a little bit extra, Joe will be like, "Oh,
I got a thing.
I got a bathroom to remodel." I'm gonna promise y'all this. We are going to do a watch along on Remember the Titans. We just gonna record it. But look at him. When we watch this movie and just react to it as it happens. Because, bro, like, we quote this movie so dang much,
million
bro.
sayings in there, bro.
You cannot replace a Gary
Cannot
Bertier.
replace a Gary Bertier.
Anyway,
Don't tell
go
me
ahead.
that. Don't tell me that.
I haven't seen it in so
Supposed
long.
to be Superman.
When did that come out? Like
I don't know.
05?
Yeah, I was gonna say 90s.
Yeah, 95.
And late 90s.
No way.
I swear.
Yeah.
No
Or
way.
early 2000s. I don't know. That's a
like
good one. I don't know.
03-ish.
Chad, help us out with that because I
Feels
feel like
03.
it was like
no,
20
it's
years
like
ago.
03. I think I watched it in my condo. I was at
Came
home
out
95.
in 2000.
Oh,
Okay,
right
yeah,
there.
I
Right
was
on the
in
edge.
2000.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
on 95.
That is an epic movie.
Your hind parts. That's what I remember.
Oh yeah, I will. Then I will break you off in your John Brown hand part. But
And then you will run them out.
and then you run them
then you
out.
will.
Perfection. So yeah, no. What I was saying is that again, you know, he takes from that talking about Thomas Brown that example of Brian Flores, and again, that's what you want your players to have trust in is that the people that are leading them, that are calling, whether it's the HC, the OC, the DC, the special teams, you have to exude confidence because your players will imitate that. They're following your lead.
Yeah.
You know, these are grown men, but at the same time, they're still being led by more grown men. Eric Washington, loved the way he talks. Thomas Brown, loved the way he talks. But Matt Eberflus, I mean, you got the face right there. Guy doesn't exude confidence anymore. He knows his job is on the line. So he plays as if his job is on the line because he plays scared. You need somebody to come in the building that's going to give confidence to the team.
Well, what would be the gift or the godsend is that they're able to get this dude following their model, and he's probably on the cheap because it's his first head coaching job, and they might have found the guy that right after like 20 since Ditka.
Hey, we'll see. The one thing I will say though is
Lovey. Lovey got us too.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lovey was right. The one thing I will say though is how the question that I put out there was he seems very dejected after losing to the Packers. We have 2 games coming up against divisional opponents. We have the Vikings this Sunday, and we have the Lions on Thanksgiving. After that Lions game, there is a mini bye. We've seen coaches fired in that mini bye. Could the dejection be, I know I got 2 weeks left of this? We've seen coaches get the axe in that mini bye where it's like, we got a long week. We can get somebody up to speed. You're working somebody in basically, and Thomas Brown is kind of figuring some things out.
Pat, don't give me
Could you see Matt Eberflus get fired in that mini bye? Now, this goes with the conversation we just had of the McCaskey saying, we're probably not firing Muzz. We don't fire people in season. It's just, it's one of those things that to me, I thought was the timing of it. I don't deal in coincidence. The timing of it feels really weird to me.
Well, I think it's a bigger game now because the national media, the spotlight is really on the Bears. Before, like, only if we won, we might get some of that, but they're watching. Everyone is watching the Bears. I'm hoping that their pride is getting hit by this, that they're talking about them so bad, like it's a bad organization, bad ownership.
I love that
mom pop shop.
Bro, I love they finally turned on the Bears.
Everybody
always turns on the quarterback. They're not. The world believes in Caleb so much.
Yep.
They all literally were like, "It's you. It's not him. It's you."
Yes. The best thing that ever happened is them drafting him because it puts the spotlight on them that they're ruining quarterback, ruining. And then now Thomas Brown comes in here, calls a good game. It's like. You hired that guy or somebody hired this dude that's not doing a good job. He is going to outshine all y'all crap. And so now, like, the world is awake.
Yeah.
This is a good thing. I'm glad because I'm sick of this.
And only reason I would say it right is if you have 2 good weeks of Thomas Brown calling offenses and you feel as confident as you feel tingly about it.
Right.
You don't want to go into next season with him.
You doggone right.
Do you want to go into next season with him having no experience as that head coach guy? Now, realistically speaking, you'd be talking about 4 games of experience as a head coach for Thomas Brown. It's not a whirlwind of experience. It's not a great jump or leap of experience, but you get to kind of see how he handles the day-to-day of being a head coach for a month before you go out there and make a different decision on your head coach.
Pat, you're trying to apply logic.
I can see that. Well,
you're trying to apply logic.
Well, no. Here's the caveat of it. I killed all the logic early on in this segment when I said they're not going to spend $20 million on 2 head coaches.
You're hurting yourself applying logic.
No, I'm fine.
Listen, don't do that. I need you.
Hey, look. I watch the whole NFL. I watch how good
you
organizations
drive all the way up there and have to deal with those dudes. Like you have to spend your time. Stop hurting yourself.
Hurting yourself.
You're expensing your money going up there to ask those questions.
Flus is costing me gas. He better reimburse me over there with that $12 million over.
Like hopefully that would make perfect sense. It's a great setup.
Yeah.
In the perfect world, fine. I don't get Harbaugh. If we get the next Tomlin guy, okay, the next up and coming coach, because it's about time. From McVay and all these guys, and then we go in the next year and get a offensive lineman.
I got a little issue with that.
Go ahead.
Drew, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Thank you. I'm still here. Y'all dominating the conversation. Brother can't get in the back.
You've been here, man.
Brother can't in the back door.
Hey,
we got the Aura app.
Hey, no real talk.
Yeah, I was gonna say not gonna switch. Flag on the play. That was crazy.
No real talk though. If you do go to this new offensive coordinator as head coach, who you're gonna bring in to replicate the defense that Flus, even though he sucks as a head coach, he's a great defensive coordinator. Who are you bringing in to replace him?
Eric Washington is called plays. He's also your DC already in place. I'm not saying, but here's the thing. Thomas Brown is here. I would prefer that Thomas Brown gets to pick his own defensive coordinator and pick kind of his system. But you don't know I would think that Thomas Brown would say, okay, we can kind of figure some things out on the way here. The team has responded well to Eric Washington. I would assume that's who you go with in that situation. Plus, Eric Washington called plays for you in the preseason where the Bears were blitzing at their highest.
Yeah.
I did like
that. So it might already be set up. But it's still whoever we'll never know if it really was a Poles hire. I don't believe he hired him. I just think that it was too quick for your GM and coach to be hired in succession like that.
Well, whether he hired him or not, he doubled down on it.
I think
that the beginning part. The beginning part means nothing to me anymore. When you come in this season and you go,
I think he did the same thing with Fields. He said, I'm let me see what he does. We already got him for 5 years anyways. Let's see what he does with the quarterback, with Caleb. It's not working.
Yeah.
He shot himself in the foot too many times for him to still be here.
Oh, yeah. That I do agree with. That I do agree with. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let's finish it out with this, man. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below as well. Do you think that Flus could be fired during the bye week? Do you think that Flus will be fired this season at all? Or are you like me, where you're just like, probably riding this out with him next season?
I would hate
No, don't hurt yourself, boys.
I would hate that.
Don't hurt yourself.
Man, that would.
Let's keep this thing moving along, though, boys, because we do have a game coming up this Sunday. Bears take on the Minnesota Vikings. This is a defense that blitzes just about 60% of the time. They're going to be after Caleb. They're going to be engaging. Caleb's dead. That is the game plan for this Sunday. And it's gonna be a tough game for the Bears. I mean, like, this is a top defense in the NFL. It's also a top 10 defense, or I'm sorry, top 12 defense. I believe they're 11th in the league right now. Also a top 10 offense in the league right now. So you're facing probably statistically the best team that you've played on paper. You've got Jay Jettis coming into this game, who's leading the NFL in plays that turn into 15 yards or more on the season. He's got 28 of those. And I would imagine there's going to be a lot of matchups against Tyreek Stevenson in this game, trying to move him around. It just feels like one of those games that you're going to, one way or the other, you're going to come out of this game feeling one, good or bad about Thomas Brown and about this Bears defense.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're going to get some guarantees that come out of this game where you go, okay, maybe it was just one game.
Right. All this could mean nothing. But it would be nice to see if I would hate that, just because, Caleb has talent. People recognize he has talent. And what they did was a good game in terms of trying to at least, like, establishing a run, just being smart. The way that Brown utilized the players, it was he did what we all been asking for. Yeah. Using Cole Kmet, using all of the receivers, using DeAndre Swift and Roshan, and interchanging them when it was appropriate. The issue was more about, does Caleb get hopefully in a better situation where he can make that key throw? Like, I didn't see a lot of necessarily really bad throws like he's done over the season. In the last game. He was just more controlled. So I'm hoping that, it
was about rhythm. The offense had way more rhythm than
the right word.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. And so hopefully he can do that. Even with the thing is Brown able to counter the blitz, or is Flores going to try to trick him? He's going to blitz.
He's definitely going to try.
He's definitely going to be trying to trick him the whole time.
Disguising coverages, and they think they're going to go to blitz and then go back to a zone or whatever. I don't know. I mean, if he ends up doing some things like that. Just hopefully that Brown, we'll see what can Brown do for us. Can he call it better?
Can he do it again? No, I'm right there with you. I love the word that Drew used as far as being consistent and making sure that you stay in rhythm. I think that's what's most important for a rookie quarterback who has talent, is to just see himself complete some passes early and often. Just hey, DJ Moore, you want to get on the same page. They talked about him not necessarily being the best route runner for Caleb right now. Get him through those screen passes again. Get DeAndre Swift involved in screen passes. Throw it to Cole Kmet. Utilize your superstars early and often. When the blitz comes, you're going to have opportunities to get that ball out quick, or you should, to your stars. Keenan Allen, like Rome Odunze. So we have the names. That's never been the issue, right? From the start of this season, we have the names. We have to continue to go out there and be as consistent as possible. Start early, get some points on the board in the first quarter, so that maybe you put a little pressure on Minnesota, because they obviously have offense as well that complements this really good defense. Best wide receiver in the game, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones. Sam Darnold, Tyler Hockenson. I forgot about T.J. Hockenson. Yeah. They got a squad. So, and we thought that they were going to kind of come back down to earth. You said it. They do seem like they kind of came back down to earth, but the record still is amazing.
So shout out to Django 4G with the gifted 10 of Breeze memberships. Appreciate that, Django. I didn't even know you could do that on YouTube. Shout out to the gifted 10 memberships. Okay, all right. Appreciate that, Django. That's love. Hold on.
Never got over 200 today. And the thing, like the thing is that the Vikings are got the number 1 rushing defense.
Yeah,
like you can't run against them, but like you said, 28th in pass.
28th in the pass.
So it kind of lines up that the Bears, if they can do it, they can throw against these dudes. It can be done. Now mind you, we're kind of in the middle of the pack for rushing. You kind of run up against us.
Yeah, you can run on this.
You're dang right.
The difference.
It's hard to pass against us, though.
The difference with this team is, and I think what's going to make a difference in this game is, right, can you match up against Justin Jefferson? Nobody can. Can you match up against Jordan Addison? Okay, that's a little bit more manageable. We know Sam Darnold is really focusing on Justin Jefferson. His game plan is basically he down there somewhere, which he is.
I keep saying it, man. The cover 2, it can beat.
Are
we saying?
I think basically it's going to boil down to, can we get pressure on Donald? Because if you get pressure on Donald, he turns the ball over.
Yeah,
and
Montez, wake up.
And it's an easier game. If we get no pressure and he sits back there, then our rushing defense is going to get exposed, and Vikings going to have a good game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. No. It's just more about if the defense can hold, this defense can be. Are we calling Sam Darnold a good quarterback? Is he a mid quarterback?
I would say Sam Darnold is
mid.
I'd say he's mid.
Yes.
He's got a good
I don't
team
think
around.
there's a question about that. He's mid.
Yeah, so he can be. You can confuse him.
You can rattle him.
Hopefully, we need it. We've been starving for like a turnover for real. Like we'll get like where we can capitalize on it.
We did that this week.
Like a pick six. Or you mean like a big one?
Like we need like when it matters. Sack. Yeah, like we need it to matter. Like we're.
I mean, we got him when it mattered this week. We got a turnover on downs when it mattered.
That's true. Yeah,
drove down the
field. When they threw that
all the way
big pass right after that, when we needed the defense to hold.
But that's different though. Like, that's not what you asked for. That's not what you asked for.
Okay, what I want is a pick six. I want a defensive score.
I'll take a pick six. I'll take Jalen.
That's what I want.
I mean, listen, I want the Bears to win the Super Bowl. We're not gonna get things we want. Let's get to our picks for the week.
Going through Hallis, bro.
Oh, left Jordan hanging. I'm too far.
That take was flaccid.
It was a joke.
That take was flaccid. Let's get to our picks for the week. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Did you just say flaccid?
Yeah, that's the flaccid horn. That's the flaccid horn.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
whoa.
You need a blue chew on that one.
Oh boy.
Let's get to our picks.
Hey,
for
there we
the
go.
week.
Hey, Blue Chew, you hear us?
Hey, Blue Chew, always willing to rock with a Blue Chew sponsorship.
Hello there.
Never mad at it. Get in tune with us.
Right.
Nah, man, but some good picks. I mean, listen, I think we're pretty split on this week. Ringo went with 28-17.
Oh, loss. That's a loss.
A loss. Yeah, you suck.
Lose.
I went with a 24-21 loss to the Chicago Bears. Joel went with a 24-21 loss to the Minnesota Vikings. You did that backwards.
I know, I did it on purpose. They would only score 14 points. Minnesota would get 21.
No, I'm saying
I know
his pick.
My pick. You put 24
but
to 21.
I put a loss though. I was rushing.
I see what he's saying. You should have put the Vikings picture on the left.
I know.
We got to work on this guy, man.
I redesigned it, and it was like trying to get everybody's stuff. So,
I mean, we said it to you pretty early. Joel had a 14-21 loss to the Minnesota Vikings. Kid had a 21-14 win. Kid yet again showing confidence. Probably the reason we're losing so much. Ooh. JC has a 17-14 Bears win, and Drew has a 24-17 Bears win. So in reality, we are pretty split on this one. And I think
Dub was here, he would actually break the tie.
I mean, listen. I think realistically speaking, though, this is the feeling on this game. It can go either way. Like I come into this game feeling like the Bears have more of a chance to win it than I came into that Packers game. I said the Packers game was close, but I was pretty sure we were going to lose it.
I think earlier in the season I was a little bit more high on Minnesota being a walkover, just because we had a better record, and I thought going into the division, I thought they were the weaker team out of all four. Now I'm not saying that obviously because of the record and because of the stats and the defense, but we still have a chance. I mean, Sam Darnold is still going to be Sam Darnold. Again, if you apply pressure, he has a chance to be beat.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And weirdly enough, the Bears have a lot of good stats to combat their red zone numbers are ridiculous. It makes no sense. Yeah. They're leading the red zone offensively and defensively.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It makes zero sense.
It's got to get there.
You got to get there. They're elite in the red zone offensively and defensively. They literally don't allow touchdowns, and they only score touchdowns.
There you go.
And they dominated every facet of the dang Packers game for the most part and lost
possession.
Bro, we've won the turnover battle. We won time of possession. I think 3 weeks in a row now. Yeah. And we've lost all the games.
Yep.
Makes zero sense. It's a Flus team.
And that's the thing. Like,
as they say, we flused it. We flused it.
And I do think
knocked it Flus.
I'm gonna say they could win this game, but I'm like, I have to be realistic. Like if I see Brown do another game and let's say they win it, then I feel more confident going out the rest of the season. Because it's like, okay, now he does have
no more attaboys.
Yeah.
No attaboys in this league.
I love that he said that ain't no attaboys. Hey, again, preaching a different message than Flus.
Yep.
But hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let us know your prediction on the Bears. Intro music said 27-21 Bears win. Slick Sophistication said 28-20 Bears over the Vikings.
28-20, that's a lot.
That's a good game.
That's a good game. That's breaking a record. That's 4 touchdowns. 3 to 4 touchdowns.
That's a game where I come in tingly next week. I
tell
tell you right now, 5 and 6.
Coming in like McMahon, like
I'm coming in like Caleb. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button.
You know why? Because
what a hole.
Find the hole, man. You got to find the hole. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. For the super producer, Joel Holt, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, and Mr. Drew Better. You knew better. You do better. Say who better? Nobody, bro. It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love.
One love.
Oh, boy.
They had the Bulls lost yesterday.
Jesus.
Didn't score in the last 6.5 minutes of the game.
It was close though.
Yeah.
It was close.
6.5 minutes.
No, it wasn't close.
It was a close.
It was literally.
Like 10 points
it was
and then
no. It was
they
literally
give
no. It was like 108, 104.
It was a close game.
And then Milwaukee went on a
They got
18-4 run.
It got ugly at the end.
Sounds right.
It got ugly at the end.
Giannis. Giannis is going to Giannis.
Y'all stay blessed out there. He didn't pause the outro. No, it's weird. We're just on the screen.
Oh.
Yeah, it was weird. It got weird.
Just bothered my head.